believe you can be a millionaire in all 6 aspects of health. We do episodes on your physical health, mental health, social health, financial health, intellectual health, and today's episode on your spiritual health. If you have never seen Millionaires Are Made, this is the show built on the fundamental belief that every person you meet knows something you don't, and that there's something to learn from everyone in this big, beautiful world. Today, our show is going to be on meditation, how to improve your spiritual health with meditation. We've got 3 amazing guests on our show today that are going to give us the tiny piece of advice to help grow in spiritual health and in your meditation. I unfortunately am injured, and so I am sitting, and it's in pain. So if you see me grimace, it's not because of what people are saying. It's because of my leg. But on that note, in the spirit of authenticity, our guests, I don't even know who they are or what their tips are until we go live on air to remove as much bias or persuasion as possible. So their advice and their tips are straight from them and their life journeys. I can't wait to hear them, and I can't wait for you all to hear them as well. Audience, we love you so much. Please, please, please ask questions. When you ask a question, we do ask it live, and we put our guests a little bit on the hot seat for them. We also love if you can like and follow and share and all that cool stuff, because that's what helps keep us going, obviously. And on that note, we're going to do a little shout out to some followers on Facebook. Kristen Boritsky. Oh, I love you, Kristen. Thank you so much. On Instagram, Kevin Faulkner. TikTok, you're awesome too, Kevin. Love you. TikTok, Michael Power. And on YouTube, Alexi Leonard. Love you guys. Alexi's going on his spiritual journey right now. He's been in Asia for like 6 months now. Thank you all for following. We love you. You guys are great. If you have a podcast and you need guests, feel free to contact us. We've got 4 right here on this show. We'd love to help out and share our knowledge and spread intellectualness, especially regarding meditation and spiritual health. If you would like to be a guest, please sign up below. We're dropping the link. We love you. We need as many guests as possible because we want as much information and as much advice as possible to help grow the world. And if you're going through something and you're confused or unsure, or it's a topic that you don't know much about, let us know. We will go out there and do all the groundwork and find 3 awesome guests that have advice on that topic and throw a whole show just for you. So hopefully you can get rid of the struggle and move forward. And as much as I love this show, I also love meeting one-on-one with people. I spend a lot of time talking to people way smarter than me, and you're about to meet 3 of them. But I do offer free growth sessions, coaching sessions, one-on-one. We're dropping the link right now if you want to sign up and get a free session. It's going to be great. I'll tell you as much as I can about everything I can, or at least connect you to someone a lot better. And as usual, please like, share, send stars, subscribe, whatever it is on whatever medium is. We much, much, much appreciate it, and it helps us keep growing. As well as sponsors, if you want to be a sponsor, feel free to sign up. We'll drop that link right now. We are always looking for sponsors to help us keep this show moving. And today we've got 4 awesome sponsors. Our first one is Eric at ELM Law. He's a lawyer, #1 lawyer in Colorado for immigration and family law, dedicated to delivering the highest quality legal representation in Colorado. They are a champion for their clients. They provide exceptional service, and they can help you navigate legal challenges. Their link's being dropped. Check them out right now. Next sponsor is awesome. Healing Vocals Artist Management, led by Dr. Mary Anderson, fuses medicine for your body and physical health and music for your uplifting soul, and they do medical missions and artist support throughout the world. Next up is a very necessary. Ben, thinking about your health. Ben offers nationwide health insurance with the freedom to choose any doctor. It's ideal for anyone who wants cost-effective, tax-deductible plans. Check out that link below. And our last sponsor, but not the least, True Leaders is a bi-monthly magazine that offers practical guidance, inspiring stories, and interviews for aspiring and current leaders. It's free online, and if you want the print copy, you can buy it as well. Check out that link below. And without further ado, let's bring out our first guest and talk about some spiritual health and meditation. One of our favorite guests here, her name is Elle. Elle, tell us who you are.
Good morning, Austin, and everybody here. Happy to be spending time with you. I'm Elle Grinnell, and my business is True Speak. I founded it over 25 years ago as an intrapersonal communication authority. That means that I help you get the voices straight in your head first before you even open your mouth, so that everything you say becomes more effective and that your actions become smoother, faster, easier. So I like to help people achieve peace in their mind, and then peace in your life is just one step behind it.
Peace in your mind and
Mhm.
then peace in life. Well, I have a question for you.
Okay.
If I wanted to improve my spiritual health with meditation, what simple piece of advice would you give me?
You know how in sports you put on the proper shoes before you do your activity? Well, with meditation, you've got to prep the mind. So the advice that I would give is to have a seat, close your eyes if possible, and tell those voices sitting in the back seat, shh, I'm in charge. The next one who talks doesn't get to pick their favorite snack when we stop for gas. So everybody quiet.
Oh man. And what if that doesn't work?
Yeah, so there's a lot of voices for a lot of people, and I've worked with people whose egos are so loud that they won't allow them to meditate. And so
Okay.
what you
Oh,
do is now you fall back on what people will tell you. Focus on the breath. The reason why that's happening is you just don't have enough oxygen in your brain to get into the alpha level of consciousness. The ego is not as powerful in the alpha level of consciousness. That's where you can tap more easily into your spirituality and hear your true voice, not all of those shadow parts and things that are running amok in there. So long, slow, deep breaths, longer on the exhalation. And then if your brain needs something to do, have it do box breathing. You breathe in for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold. And that gives the conscious mind something to stay busy with, so to speak. It's like you gave it a fidget toy, and you're still getting your oxygen in, and you're allowing yourself to get more into that alpha level of consciousness. But you have to constantly remind those voices that you are in charge, that they're not in charge, that you make the decisions, that you lead this beautiful temple that houses your amazing soul.
wow. Well, there was a lot of information just in that last 30 seconds. Elle, where on your life journey did you learn this advice?
I kind of, I guess, baby stepped into it, I guess is what I would say, because I played sports my entire life. And so you do learn a lot about mental focus, which is a form of meditation. A lot of people think they can't meditate, but that's because they think it's all lotus position, quiet mind. It's not.
Okay.
If you've ever been daydreaming and somebody's like, "Hey, Earth to Austin," and you're like, "Whoa,"
Ah,
you
okay.
you were meditating. So as soon as people relieve that, so that's what I learned, is that you don't have to be quiet. It's actually all about the breath. And then I got introduced to the International Academy of Self-Knowledge. That was almost 30 years ago. And then my journey just became really clear in my path to what I've been continuing to do now. And there are 101 ways to meditate. You just have to find the one that you like. And like, I don't run. I hate running. If that was the only way to be fit, I'd weigh, 500 pounds. But there's 101 ways to move your body. And so find what works for you. But the best thing that I can tell you is allow yourself to slow down. This world is so fast, and everything's in sound bites, and everything's in swipes. And we forget to connect back to that true source and that unconditional love that's ours by divine right in abundance. That's where we find peace and can meditate.
I mean, yeah, I'll go back just a second, but I mean, a lot of runners talk about that runner's high. So you're saying that's a form of meditation then?
Absolutely, because your body is in one place, but your spirit is in another. The non-physical aspect of you is not present.
And
Perfect
daydreaming
example.
is another way to meditate?
Yes, exactly. Generally, it means you're not enjoying where you are in the moment. So you drift off into somewhere that you'd like to be.
Or
Into
you have
thought.
really, really bad ADD. Very spicy brain.
That's true. And I do help people with ADD and ADHD meditate. It's mostly that they suffer the stigma of meditation means getting quiet. And that's not the only way to do it. There are other ways to do it.
Awesome. Elle, thank you so much for your insight. We'll bring you back in a bit. We're going to move on to our next guest now. Thank you again. And we're going to welcome Anupama. Hey, Anupama, who are you? You're muted.
Oh.
Let's try it again.
First of all, thank you so
Anupama,
much,
who are you?
Austin, for having me all the way from Virgin Islands, USA. And it's always a pleasure to speak to the other half of the world and especially about spiritual health. So about myself, I am a happiness coach and a healer. And a little bit background myself is about I have been a nutritionist and a mindset expert for the last 7 years, gradually delved into happiness coaching and healing. And that is how my journey continues and ever evolves.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I've got a very important question for you then. Sounds like you
Yes.
might be qualified. Anupama, if I wanted to improve my spiritual health with meditation, what simple piece of advice would you give me?
Neti Neti, which means cancel, cancel. Now, what that means is cancel out everything that's going on. It's a very popular Indian Sanskrit term, Neti Neti, which means cancel, cancel. So when you sit down to meditate, to improve your spiritual health, what you really need to do is a lot of people actually confuse mindfulness and meditation. These are two different things. Okay. Mindfulness is being aware of your situation, of your circumstance, of your present. That is mindfulness. Meditation, on the other hand, is focusing your mind on a singular thought. Now, some people do mantra meditation. That could be on a specific chanting. Some people like to focus on their breath work, like Elle was saying, on their breath. Some people do it by lighting a candle and focusing themselves on the candle. Some people do, like, there are n number of ways you can meditate. But the problem is you have to cancel everything out, because this moment you start to meditate, the distraction kicks in. This, that, lights, thoughts, scenarios, trauma, everything kicks in directly. That's just distracting you, and you're like in the middle of a tornado, and you have to sit straight and close your eyes, open your eyes, whatever you do. You have to cancel out each distinct thought, each itch that you have in your skin sometimes, each time your brain calls you about something as a reminder, something you have to do. So everything that comes as a distraction, you have to cancel that out. And it's a tedious process. It's not easy. That is the way you meditate to really come into your spiritual health. Now, in spiritual health, I mean the actualization part of the process. Spirituality has nothing to do with religion, but in spirituality, what you need to do is you focus deeply into yourself, who you are, what you feel, and what you want to actualize. That is where meditation helps in activating and enhancing your spiritual health. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah. Can we talk for another 5 hours? We have we'll wait for that question later. Let me ask you this. Where on your life journey did you learn this information?
Deep question, easy question, long question to answer. But in short, I have been born into a family where spirituality was deeply encouraged since, I don't know, the age of 5. And I have heard about saints and people and delving into spirituality since I was a kid. But long story short, when I started professionally, I started out as a nutritionist, and I did my entire degree in masters in nutrition, and I worked with people, diet plans, customizing sports, athletes, clinical, all of the way. And then I figured out that the problem is not just in the diet, it's in the mind.
Nice.
So when I went on to become a counselor, and I combined nutrition with mindset coaching, counseling, and that worked wonders. And then it eventually led me to the space where I figured out that if you are in a happy state, if you can figure out how to be happy and you perform from that place, once you're happy, you can be a great person in terms of your health. You can be a great person in terms of your career. You could be a great person in terms of your finance. You could be a great person in terms of relationships if you operate from that happy space. Now, how did I achieve my state from where I realized that spirituality is something that is to be enhanced and developed by every single place and every single person on this earth? Let me take you 2 years back. 2 years back, we went on this trip that my father always told about. There's a place called Ganga Sagar in West Bengal in India where the holy river Ganga. Have you heard of the holy river Ganga?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Varanasi, right? Everybody knows. So Varanasi is a city that's on the banks of Ganga, and where Ganga meets the ocean, that place is called Ganga Sagar. Sagar meaning ocean. And that is a place that gets really spiritually activated on 14th or 15th of Jan, depending on the star constellations every single year. So about 5 to 10 million people assemble on that particular day. I'm getting goosebumps as I speak of this. To just take a dip, in that confluence of the river and the ocean. And my father told for many years, and it's a very, very crowded place, like 5 to 10 million people. Can you even imagine all together in one place on a river beach? It's not even an ocean beach, it's a river beach in one place, like crowded like anything, and people. And we had to plan for like an entire year to be there, and we went there, and I took a dip in the ocean on that day, 14th of Jan 2022. And I remember the person that came out of the ocean that day was a different person. And that person realized that somewhere she had to go deep into that path. And that's how a nutritionist and a mindset expert became a happiness coach and a healer, delving into her own spiritual journey. And I'm so thankful, and I couldn't have it any other way, I can tell you.
Wow. All right. Very cool. Very cool. That sounds like something we need to go check out. 10 million people on a riverbed sounds like a lot, but it might be a sight to see. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Anupama. We're going to move on to our next guest. We'll bring you back out for the round robin here in a second. Next up, we have Shilpi. Shilpi, who are you?
Hi, Austin. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Austin, I'm a psychic and a gifted clairvoyant, and that's how I would define myself from the past 22 years. And then I am a mother. Why I just choose to talk about these two roles is because these are the ones I chose on my journey as a person, rather than, having gotten the other relationships as a part of your birth. You're born and you bring certain relationships. But I chose to be a psychic and a clairvoyant. Of course, I was the chosen one, and I discovered those gifts along. And then I chose to be a mother. And that also, of course, brought me on this path further down, because to be able to nurture these souls, I had to be prepared to walk this path myself. So that is Shilpi. And then Shilpi became a mentor, while I was aligning myself to my soul's purpose. The collateral damage came in, as I always joke, and I had people coming in my way, wanting to, bringing in their issues, where I had the lesson I just learned was what they wanted to, really learn. And that's how it just flowed from Shilpi, the person, to Shilpi, the psychic, the clairvoyant, the mom, and then the mentor, the guide, and the guru, as some people call me. Yes.
All right, Shilpi, I've got a good question for you. Let's see what you say about this. If I wanted to improve my spiritual health with meditation, what simple piece of advice would you give me?
Wherever you are, just go within.
Ooh, wherever you are, just go with it. All right. Tell me more about that.
So wherever you are, honestly, for me, I play a lot of roles. Like I said, I'm a mother to a 16-year-old and a 10-year-old. It is crazy. I am constantly on the run. And I personally, the only time I have for myself to sit down to meditate is in the morning, which is sometimes never happening. So it's a question of priorities. So how I have chosen to really, work on myself, because my work requires a lot of balancing of my tasks. And when people come to me for guidance, it's a huge responsibility. For me to be able to channel, I have to quieten my mind and know this is the guidance from the higher source, and this is not my mind. And for me, it's become so over years of experience, There is no time to really sit down and, meditate for half an hour, then go into that meditation and channel. So I have learned to have those moments of mindfulness. Like Anupama said, of course, there are different things. I playing these roles, I do not know how many people do actually have time to sit down to meditate. But all I say is, wherever you are, just go within. We always go on auto mode. When you're driving, so many times it happens, on a path or on a route that you really know. Oh my gosh, I started and I've reached. How did I just reach? All by myself driving. You just went into it. Yeah. So that is the moment you have for yourself. Stop the music. Don't play the music. Don't have somebody to chat with you in the car. Just go within. You're cooking. Just go within. You can have these moments of being with yourself in numerous times throughout the day. Because when you say, I want to sit down for meditation, oh, as a mom, I have none.
You told us a little bit, but let's clean up a little more clear. Shilpi, where on your life journey did you learn this tip, this piece of advice?
Life taught me. So I came down, I was born with relationships. I had a sister who had a medical problem. And so we used to visit the hospital, and the fragility of life and the questions like, is this it? Who are we? Why are we here?
Wow.
Came in too early in life. And I started getting visions. And then, slowly as I progressed, I would visit hospitals. I became a physical therapist. I would visit the ICUs. The visions became to conversations, two-sided. I could hear, I could see, I could, get guided. And then came in challenges with the life. And while I was trying to hear that guidance and work on it for my own life, I realized that to hear it, I have to be a clear vessel, a cleaner vessel. It's like a radio, we're on radios. So to fine tune that radio, I need to clear that muck out. That muck out can be cleaned when I have those moments to myself where I focus on the thoughts that are coming in, the unsaid words, unsaid emotions, grudges, and sort them out. And that's how I fine tune my radio to be able to hear better. And 22 years of practicing it, gradually I had people wanting to be guided, and it became like a full circle where I would work on myself and I would be able to help others. And while I did that, I became a better mother. Every role became, beautiful, because when you go within, you connect yourself to that source with so much, receiving that unlimited supply of love and compassion, which just overflows to people and relationships around you. Rather than loving my children, I am love, I am kindness, I am compassion. And that overflows to everybody who comes in touch with me. And that way you do not trigger anybody. So the closest of relationships stopped getting triggered as I walked this path of spirituality, had these moments to myself, just going within.
Just going with it. Elle, our first guest, says, go with it and go within. And then you immediately touched on it. It's like you guys are in sync. Oh, my goodness. All right, we're going to go ahead and bring everyone else out and start our round robin. We do have an awesome question from the audience. We're going to start with Lilith says, what are some benefits you have experienced from meditation?
There we go. I was muted. So many miracles, and meditation, they go hand in hand. But the easiest one is the one that you can see. And that is, technically I'm obese, meaning I'm over a certain amount of body weight, but my numbers come back flawlessly every year. My cholesterol, my glucose, my heart, everything. All of my numbers are amazing. And I'm extremely healthy. And like the other ladies talked about, it's because I'm extremely happy. The happiness is the vibration that dis-ease cannot attach to. So when you meditate, you're happier, and you vibrate higher, and there's so many things that just can't touch you.
Wow, that was a
That's
pretty
amazing.
powerful quote. All right. Any other thoughts? What other benefits have you guys gotten from meditation?
I think the benefits that I have got are very. I'm going to speak at large. So I think meditation really, when you practice it regularly, it helps you come to peace with your past, because everybody has a past. It happens. Life happens to everybody. So it helps you come to peace with your past. It helps you step into your present, and it helps you lower your anxiety over the future. So you make peace with your past. You step gradually into your present. You're more mindful. Your mindfulness increases. Your performance increases. And in your future, you're not anxious all the time about what is going to happen and how am I going to figure out, and all the questions, the number of questions that torment our mind. It's not going to be there because you're perpetually in the present. That's how I think I see meditation as.
I would say, Austin, meditation, mindfulness, all of this, I think is a beautiful way of activating that inner GPS within us. All of us have it. Nobody tells the birds, you have an alarm, dawn, dusk, winters, ants, they all know it. Yet we humans, we've reached the moon, but that inner GPS, you get stuck. What am I going to do? I'm stuck. Go within, tap that inner GPS, just connect to the source. All of it is right there for you. Why are you looking outwards? It's just, again, comes back to go within. The benefits, it's an absolute state of bliss, no matter the chaos in the world. And when you become that, that moment of bliss, it's as simple. You in a fight, you in an argument, and you are mindful. The other person, how long will he go on screaming? Nothing. It just rubs on, it just flows. And that's how we say, that is why we need communities, each one of us following it, because it's such a beautiful, it just kind of flows. So one person doing it impacts so many around him, because when you are in that moment, you do not go on triggering outsiders. If somebody is triggered and you do not get triggered back, you've done your good deed of the day as well. So these are very, very practical things. It's not about sitting somewhere doing it. It's not about taking our time. Like I said, any role you play, anything you do, it is possible right in the moment, wherever you want, whenever you want.
All right, we've got another question from the audience, and we've gone over this quite a bit. I think it was Anupama that said mindfulness and meditation are different. We've talked about mindfulness. Let's specifically get into that. Can you guys please explain the concept of mindfulness and its connection to meditation?
Oh, that's a deep one. That's a very vast one. But
You got
I
30
would
seconds.
okay, quick one. Mindfulness for me, like I said, anywhere, anytime, you singing a song, just going to the lyrics, just feel it. You cooking, just driving, mindfulness.
Be
Meditation, that's my understanding of things. Of course, I'm sure there's no specific direction to this. It's a huge, vast subject. Meditation, I would say, yeah, like Anupama said, you need to sit down, have a designated space. You either meditate on the flame or of a candle or a mantra or your thoughts. So and of course you need mindfulness. Could be, I personally feel, can be an individualistic thing, but my meditation, you do need guidance, and I'm sure Elle can elaborate more on that.
Yeah, absolutely. When we say mindfulness, it's your state of mind at the moment. And so we are like a 3-ring circus, and each ring is entertaining somebody, and it's all going on at the same time. And so when we remember that we're the ring master, and at time all the lights come just on us, standing there in the middle, and we have the power and the control to take a mindful state, that being in the mind, into meditation. So we can silence the audience, silence the entertainment, and all eyes are on you. And that light is like your spiritual true source illuminating you, so that in this moment you can now meditate.
Absolutely. I'd like to add the point that I already said before, but would like to enhance on it. Like Shilpi said and Elle said, mindfulness is all lights on you, and you become singularly focused on whatever you're doing in the moment. So, mindfulness could be applied to music, it could be to your writing, it could be to your driving, it could be in your dance, it can be hugely in sports. Mindfulness is extremely important. Be aware of the present. That's mindfulness. Meditation, whether you sit down in a singular place, you focus on a flame, you focus on a mantra, you focus on your thought, that's different, but it has to be singularly focused. Mindfulness is when you in focus, you do anything you want, but meditation is discipline. You center yourself in one place, you center your thoughts into one place and cancel out everything that's coming along with it.
Awesome.
Got it?
Okay. Well, that helps a lot. We are running out of time, but we have one more question from the audience, and I think it's a good one that especially maybe more pertinent nowadays with our short attention spans. How do you maintain focus during meditation, especially when thoughts keep arising? I always think about memes.
So funny. I think Annapurna said it well, that focus takes practice. It's a muscle. Our mind is a muscle. So you can do it. You're just choosing not to because it's a little uncomfortable. And so if you really want to do it, like I said earlier, shh, you tell those voices. Shh. Or like if everybody was acting up and then grandma walked in the room, everybody would stop acting up. Grandma's here, stop, messing around. And so you have that authority that comes to you and through you. And you can push those thoughts of memes and other things into the back seat. You have the power. Remember that.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Any last thoughts before we move on to our daily challenge? Perfect.
I think it's a decision. I would like to add that in continuation to L, it's a decision. The person who said that, I constantly think about memes, you need more focus and you need a decision that I want to go on your, most of the people who are in the spiritual field keep saying this, that there's a spiritual calling, there's a spiritual awakening. All of that started with a decision. You have to decide that I want to become a footballer, or I want to become a writer, or I want to become an author. And there's a time for everybody when everyone realized that now I need to look inside the outer space, the music and the dancing and the clubbing and the money and everything else is not giving me the happiness, that it's not satisfying me anymore. And then you decide to sit down, calm your mind, focusedly, you singularly focus your thoughts, and that's how you start meditating. Doesn't have to be long, but it has to be a discipline. Like Elle said, it is a muscle. You have to develop it, and only when you choose to develop it can you develop it.
Absolutely. Spiritual health is a difficult, challenging path that requires a lot of discipline. Of course, the bliss that you get is beautiful, but it's a challenging path and a very, very disciplined one as well.
Oh man! All right, we got two more questions. Let's just do it. You guys all right with two more questions staying a little longer?
Of course.
Of course. Absolutely. All right. So Dominating says, share your meditation technique, please. And so go ahead.
For me, again, very, very, very quick, between the running around chaos of life, swimming. For me, meditation is swimming. Gets me the physical exercise, gets me going. It is so timed. You cannot hear anything with the water in your ears. And it's just the breath. You focus on the breath. And then you go into that. Again, it's a moment of mindfulness, of course. Many moments of mindfulness, because you kind of go into that. The body just takes over the technique. You have to kind of swim. And it's absolute bliss. So come what may, 20 minutes of swim every single day. For me, that works. And again, for everybody, like Anupama had said, Anil had said, you got to find what works for you. So maybe they'll find something out of the other people's suggestions as well.
Yes.
All right. I'll share my meditation technique. And I like mantra meditation the most. So I like chanting, but I like to do it in the shower every day because... It's kind of water related, like Shilpi. I don't know if
You
it's a
live in an
coincidence,
apartment
but
where everyone can hear you through the pipes, and they just go,
but we live in
Anupama
the
must
same
be showering
realm.
again.
We're in the same realm. We're in the same center. We're thinking about the same thing. So when I'm in the shower, and my body is getting cleansed, essentially you're getting cleansed at that time, because water is an element. It's a natural element that cleanses you. And when you're getting cleansed, at that time, I try to activate my inner thought by meditating, by chanting continuously at the time. So my entire shower, there's a part that I'm constantly chanting, and that I think is the best meditation for me. Apart from that, I also chant by sitting in a place in a constant meditation, constant chanting. Those are my techniques.
All right, we've
Yes.
got one more question. What's the ideal environment for meditation?
The ideal environment is in your mind. Just go there.
Ooh.
Just go there. And so this ties into, I think, where we're going next, Austin. So something that you can do every day, and it's free and it takes 3 minutes, is number one, you awaken. You start your day and you make a promise to yourself, I will not touch my phone. And
Ooh.
instead, you will take your hands and place them over your heart,
Ooh.
and you honor the temple that houses your beautiful soul, and you say, thank you for another day to share my gifts and talents with the world. I promise to be a better listener and heed your word, and to remember that I am literally a walking, talking, breathing miracle. And you just stay and breathe for just a moment, and then when that feels like it can be your truth, then you can start your day. But if you get those voices going, who are you talking about? Start over. Like you were saying, mantras are so helpful. The repetition, I'm literally a walking, talking, breathing miracle, or whatever it is. So
I'm the fastest sperm of millions.
exactly. And your brain's going to argue in the beginning. So just beware that you have to walk your talk.
So I guess that kind of leads us right into our daily challenge. And I do kind of like the argue with the phone thing. All right. So guys, we got to come up with a daily challenge. It must take less than 5 minutes a day, cost $0, and be available to anyone in the world from Madagascar to Kamchatka. What do you guys suggest to improve our spiritual health with meditation?
For me, I would say, again, elaborating on what Elle said, this is my routine. I think it's available to everybody if it's available to somebody like me. Get up, wake up with gratitude. I ensure that when I wake up in the morning, I'm grateful for that day. I'm grateful to be able to be awake, breathing. I ensure that I have a sparkle of the day where I actually go out of my way to help somebody. There could be many, sometimes there are 2, 3, 4. Again, the kindness and compassion, when it overflows, and so you are grateful and then somebody is grateful to you, it's a cycle complete. So for me, everything around the day focuses around coming a full cycle, coming a full circle, because that's what life is, isn't it? So I think these are things: gratitude, kindness, compassion, available to everybody. Practice it every day. Takes few seconds.
I love it. I love it. So I'm thinking of this for the daily challenge. So when you wake up, you're going to have to scream, don't touch my phone. We all know that's probably the biggest challenge of it all. I like having, I'm trying to get the, kind of a chanting or a mantra in there. And I like having a new self-affirmation each day. Absolutely. So not only am I walking, breathing miracle, that's just one day. Then the next day you can, I'm beautiful who I am. And I mean, we can give ideas for that too. And maybe that's what our chant is I'm a walking, talking, breathing miracle. I'm a walking, talking, breathing miracle. How do you guys feel about that?
And that's beautiful. Yeah, and it could change with what you need at the moment. There are times when I am going through a certain challenge, and that's my conversation with the universe in the morning. I am, so like these days, it's like, I am healthy, I'm beautiful, or this is what I do with my children every night. I am loved, I'm supported. And, so that's the evening. But for me, something like if I'm struggling with a certain health challenge, I say, for example, my nervous system is healthy, and you kind of reaffirm. So it's so easy. Yes, very, very simple and easy. Of course, if you keep the phone away.
I think that's the,
I think
that's
that's
the biggest
lovely.
That's a hard one.
It's how Shilpi said that, I am healthy, I am beautiful. Those are beautiful affirmations to keep yourself going every day. I would like to add a next step to it, if that's okay with you, Austin.
Oh, let's up
Because-
it. All right.
So because we're talking about spiritual health and we're talking about meditation in specific, affirmations could really amp up the game. Once you're done with your affirmations, sit down in one place, choose one place if that's possible. If you're a traveler and you need to constantly travel, then choose one space like a couch or the bed or a chair, wherever you feel that you can find that one space every day. Sit there for 3 to 5 minutes, because the challenge has to be less than 5 minutes, right? To
Less than 5 minutes.
Yeah. Try sitting in one place, closing your eyes, and just closing your eyes and tapping your forehead right here, just the center of your head right here. This
Tap and
place,
hold it, or like tap it multiple times?
multiple times. I'm going to tell you, just tap 11 times. We don't need to get into the details, but this place is called the Agya Chakra, which means this is the place of intuition, insight, connects your pineal glands, lower part of the brain. So if you want to amp up your spirituality, your meditation, your focus, this is the place to tap into. So this place, just tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Calms your brain. You do your meditation for 5 minutes, or you just sit calmly for 5 minutes and you get up.
I can't wait to go to sleep and try this in the morning. I feel like so I do gratitude and visualization in the mornings as part of my routine. I don't do it necessarily right when I wake up. But yeah, I'm excited for this actually. So
and I think I want to put a word of caution. When people choose mantras like I'm a millionaire, if you don't believe that wholeheartedly into every cell of your body, it's not going to happen. Because your brain will say, because your brain's been with you all these years, and it's going to say, who are you talking about? So you've got to baby step into that with things like, my bills are met easily, rapidly, and properly under grace, or money flows to me in abundance, rapidly and properly, or so, do you know what I mean? So watch out for that. Like I'm the sexiest woman on the planet, and then your brain goes, who are you talking about? Because it doesn't believe that for you. So you can start by saying, I love my body, right? So I just want people, when they're doing their mantras, to make sure that they choose mantras that are baby steps. And then once that becomes their truth, then they can go one more rung up the ladder.
I love that. I think that's the most important part of affirmations, or mantra, if you call it. I think that's really important, Austin, because if your body doesn't believe, if your mind doesn't believe who you are, then it's not going to work. And also, if you just keep saying I'm a millionaire, you're not going to become actually a millionaire. Your affirmations plus your efforts equals to your results. People very often forget that.
Say it again.
The journey.
Your affirmations plus your efforts equals your results.
Cool.
Only affirmations equals nothing.
Yep, it's a good formula.
All right, so here's what I've got for the daily challenge, and I think this is going to be way too good to do anything else to it. All right, so you're going to wake up. I have scream, but I guess you could just say it. No phone needed, no phone needed, no phone needed. And then you're going to chant a self-affirmation. I did 20 times. Should we make it 11 times as well?
I think it's going to be easier.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I think a new affirmation, I need to note that each day. I want a new one. Chant a new self-affirmation 11 times. And then, should we tap while we're chanting the 11 times? Does that make sense?
No.
Okay, so chant 11 times and then go into your place of peace and then tap 11 times.
The place has to be very specific in the center of your head, but not exactly where your brows meet, a little bit upwards from there. So this is the place. Is it visible? This is the place. Not this. Not between your brows, but the finger above it. That.
Yes. And Austin, it's more valuable to tap first to get into that state of mind. Then the affirmations can have more impact, influence.
Man, I want to go to sleep so bad. Okay. All right. We got it. It's official. Oh, man, that was a good one. I knew we were going to go so long. It's like the longest episode ever. Awesome. All right. Well, we have officially wrapped it up and done our daily challenge and answered 450 questions from the audience. Thank you all so much for coming and sharing your expertise. Daily challenge is to wake up and scream, no phone needed, and then go into a place of peace, tap your forehead just above the brows 11 times. And then you're going to every day find a new affirmation, a new self-affirmation, and chant it 11 times as well. All of this when you first wake up. Sound like a challenge?
Absolutely.
It's going to be hard to prove. It's going to be an honor system challenge. But cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys. I'm going to put you all backstage and wrap up the show. Wow. What a great, insightful group we have there. Awesome. Thank you, audience, so much. Your questions were freaking amazing. Really helped a lot. Wow. I don't know if I've ever learned that much about meditation in one 45-minute period. If you're interested in meditation and even further, contact one of our guests. All their contact info was dropped below when they came on. If you have any questions or any issues, let us know and we'll connect you. Go learn more about meditation and go check